So this is chapter number 4, reconstitution of partnership and a retirement of partner. The contents are introduction, then learning to calculate new ratio, gain ratio, also called as the benefit ratio. In the case of admission of partner, what happens that new partner is coming, so old partners are doing sacrifice in their profit sharing. But in the case of retirement, one partner is retiring from the business and rest of the partners are getting the benefit or gain of his profit share. Okay. And that's why we are going to calculate the gain ratio. Then treatment of goodwill. Here the treatment of goodwill also we are going to learn. And actually this is what a learning point actually I can say. Then transfer of reserve fund and general reserve, revaluation of the assets and liabilities, then adjustment of capital, टोटल पेएबल अमाउंट टू रिटायरिंग पार्टनर. मतलब नंबर 4 तक ठीक है और नंबर 8 भी ठीक है, बाकी तो हम जानते हैं. ओके, what is different in goodwill that exactly I'm going to explain to you. But before that, what is the amount payable to retiring partner when one partner is going out of business? Then he is taking away his balance, capital balance, then his share in general reserve, reserve fund or profit and loss account. Also, he is supposed to suffer with the loss, supposed to bear the loss, if any. Then he is also getting the revaluation profit or the revaluation loss is debited to his account. Then drawings, if any, are debited to his account. Sometimes, do you know that the profit and loss suspense is calculated? Actually, this profit and loss suspense is coming more over in the next chapter, number 5, that is the death of partner. Profit and loss suspense, when it is calculated, when partners are retiring during the year, not exactly at the end of the year. मतलब during the year retire हो गया, तो उसको जितना भी वो year month था, ओके, म्हणजे जेवढे महिने तो बिझनेस मध्ये होता तेवढ्या महिन्याचा त्याला आपल्याला प्रॉफिट द्यायला पाहिजे. That is called as the profit and loss suspense. That I will explain more and strongly in chapter number 5. Number 4 में कमी आने वाला है. Treatment of goodwill is very important. Now let us see directly what is the introduction given to you. When one member ceases to be a partner and remaining partners continue to carry on the business of the firm, it is called as a retirement of partner. So for example, out of 3 partners, A, B, C, Mr. C decided to retire from the partnership firm and A and B decided to continue with the business in future. Then that particular case is only called as the retirement of partner. It is one of the modes of reconstitution of the partnership. The new partnership business will continue with the remaining partners and retiring partner will get amount payable to him after considering the net balance of capital account and current account, if any, agar hai to. Share of profit or loss on the revaluation of assets and liabilities, the share of accumulated profits. What do you mean by accumulated profits? General reserve, reserve fund, okay, are the best examples of accumulated profits. These profits are, okay, not distributed and hence accumulated. Some part of the profit is kept in the business for future expansion. Then that particular amount of profit is only called as an accumulated profit. But at the time of reconstitution, do you know that general reserve, reserve fund is to be distributed between all partners? Similarly, at the time of retirement also, the general reserve or reserve fund is distributed between all partners. Now here old means what? All 3 old partners. In the case of admission of partner, 2 old partners and 1 third, number 3, that is actually coming called as a new partner or incoming partner. That is the difference. Now he is getting the share of accumulated profit, goodwill also. He's getting the goodwill because now that outgoing partner, retiring partner is doing sacrifice of his profit share. Admission मध्ये काय होतं, ओल्ड पार्टनर सॅक्रिफाईस करतात न्यू पार्टनरला प्रॉफिट शेअर देण्यासाठी. इथे काय होतं, जाणारा जो पार्टनर रिटायरिंग पार्टनर आहे तो त्याचा प्रॉफिट शेअर हा रिमेनिंग पार्टनर्सला देऊन टाकतो. ही इज गिव्हिंग द profit share to remaining partners. Now, partner may retire from the business due to old age, misunderstanding among the partners, that is dispute between partners, loss in the business, or want to start with a new business venture. Any reason can be there. Retirement के लिए कोई भी reason हो सकता है. Partner may retire by what is given legally. Legally कैसे होना चाहिए? By giving the notice to remaining partners in the case of partnership at will. Okay. Partnership at will, that means actually he is giving the notice to remaining partners. He's giving the notice that I want to retire from the business. Okay. So he can actually give the notice and other partners are understanding, okay, now he's going out of business. मतलब वो जा रहा है तो हमको ही चलाना है आगे. Then in accordance with the agreement by the partner, sometimes agreement is there. Agreement is there between partners that one partner is going to retire after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years time. And number 3, with the consent of all partners. With the consent of all partners also it is possible. Sometimes actually partners are deciding that this third person or third partner is actually not giving any benefit to the firm, rather that person is a headache for the firm. So other partners are deciding कि बाबा तू जा अभी, हमको हमारा बिजनेस शांति से करने दो, आप जाओ. So that is called as a consent of all partners. Okay, they are deciding and they are in taking decision. Now in this particular case, new ratio is calculated. But before going for this explanation, I would like to give the legal aspect, or right, want to explain legal aspect of this retirement. For CA Foundation, you are having the chapter, you are having the subject mercantile law, business laws. In the mercantile law, you are having the Partnership Act 1932 in details, where the rules and the procedure for the retirement of partners, admission of partner, retirement of partner properly given to you. Who can give the notice? What should be the period of the notice? 14 days period of the notice or 21 days of period of the notice. Okay, it should be given to partners only or it should be given to public also. Okay, ये सब करना पड़ेगा. So whenever you are going to learn now the mercantile law and the partnership at there, so definitely you will remember my words. Now new ratio means what here? I can say new ratio is a ratio between remaining partners. जैसे example लिया था हमने, 3 partners are there, A, B, C. Out of that C is retiring. Remaining partners are now A and B. So actually A, B, C का जो ratio है उसमें C तो चला गया. So remaining ratio अभी किसका है? A और B का है. So that is actually a new ratio. But there are certain calculations involved in this. Let us see the illustrations. A, B, C share profits and losses in the ratio 4:2:1. So that is the ratio given to you for 3 partners. Mr. B retires. B retire हो गया. What will be the new ratio? Answer क्या है देखो. The new ratio of A and C, because B is retiring partner, A and C are continuing partners. So the ratio between them is a 4:1. Now here, okay, you can see, okay, I'm purposely pointing this out, मतलब point out करता हूँ ये जो 2 है निकल जाएगा, रहेगा क्या 4:1. Okay, as Mr. B is retiring partner, his share will disappear and A and C's share will be there for the future profit sharing, and the ratio between A and C is a 4:1. Okay, it is cancelling by cancelling B's share. Okay, मतलब हमको B का share बस cancel करना है और कुछ नहीं करना है. So this is a simple understanding. Now let us see number 2 case. XYZ share profits and losses equally. Z retires and his share is acquired by X and Y in the ratio 3:1. Now this is something different. Now calculate new ratio, new profit sharing ratio. How to do the calculation? Old ratio is the 1:1:1. Equal matlab 1:1:1. One third, one third, one third, like this. Now Z is a retiring partner, okay, and Z share acquired by X and Y in the ratio 3:1. मतलब X का गेन कितना हो गया? गेन मतलब X को कितना मिला Z के शेयर में से? 1/3 into 3/4, that is 3/12. Okay. And for Y's gain is a 1/3 into 1/4, that is 1/12. So here what you understood, okay, you are understanding here that should be, देखो ये 1/3 क्या है? This is the old ratio. And what is 3/4 1/4? It is out of this 3:1. 3/4, okay, and 1/4 यहाँ पे लिया है. Okay, मल्टीप्लाई करने के बाद हमको पता चला कि we are understanding that from X is getting from Z 3/12 and Y is getting from Z 1/12. So that is the gain, okay, or benefit they are receiving after the retirement of Mr. Z. But what is the new ratio? अब X का new old ratio, वहां पे आपको gain ऐड करना पड़ेगा. So old ratio plus gain ratio is equal to new ratio. That is the formula. So 1/3 into 3/12. You are getting the amount as a, so you are getting the answer 7/12. Okay. And for Y, 1/3 in 1/3 plus 1/12. So you are getting the answer 5/12. So what is the new ratio? Is the 7:5. This is the new ratio. Okay. Simple calculation. Cross multiplication भी आप कर सकते हो. Otherwise, you can calculate by LCM. So, what is important here? If nothing is given, then the remaining ratio is the new ratio. Look at the example number 1. If nothing is given, remaining ratio is the new ratio between partners, the continuing partners. Here B is retiring partner, B का share 2 है, वो चला गया, तो अभी remaining share क्या है? 4:1. Simple. But if it is given something like this, that X, Y, Z are partners, out of that Z is retiring and Z share is taken by X 3/4 and Y 1/4. Then you should calculate first of all gain which they are getting from Z. Individually, X is getting 3/12 while Y is getting 1/12. Then it is to be added, that gain is to be added in their old ratio. 1/3 plus 3/12, 7/12, and 1/3 plus 1/12, 5/12. So in this way it is coming. So this is the calculation of a new ratio, simple calculation I told you. Now gain ratio or benefit ratio. This ratio, the ratio in which continuing partners acquire the retiring partner share is called as a gain ratio. It is normally used to write off the goodwill. Very important. Goodwill हम लोग write off करते हैं इससे. Created, raised to the extent of retiring partner share only. But there are aspects which we are going to learn, okay, in the treatment of goodwill. Illustration number 1 is given to you. Gain ratio का formula देखो. Gain ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. Okay. Now here I can tell you one thing. What is the formula for the sacrifice ratio? It is exactly opposite, old ratio minus new ratio. Okay. But whenever you are solving some advanced problems, sometimes you know that is gain ratio is coming negative. Negative gain ratio is sacrifice ratio. And positive gain ratio is the real gain ratio. Sacrifice ratio के बारे में हम लोग बोल सकते हैं. Okay. Negative sacrifice ratio is actually a gain ratio and positive sacrifice ratio is sacrifice ratio. Okay, what exactly I want to say or I'm saying, one can understand who are doing CA foundation. जिनको CA foundation करना है उनको तो बाद में पता चलेगा. Illustration. ABC are partners in 432. B retires and A and C share future profits equally. अब इनका नया रेशो दिया है, देखो, स्पेसिफिकली गिवन टू यू. Now in this case you need to calculate the gain ratio properly. करना ही पड़ेगा. You cannot say it is a new ratio. No. अब देखो कैसे करना है. So half. Okay. This is a new ratio. Half for A. New ratio minus old ratio 4 upon 9. 4 upon 9. So it is coming 1 upon 18. Then for C is gain ratio half. New ratio minus 2 upon 9. 2 upon 9. That is coming 5 upon 18. So what is the gain ratio? Is the 1:5. Gain ratio कितना आ गया? 1:5. Okay, which is useful for writing off the goodwill. Rather, we can say adjusting the goodwill. That is the correct word. Not writing up the goodwill, but adjusting the goodwill. Here we can see the contra entry of the capital. मतलब उसका entry कैसे आएगा मैं आपको एक example बताता हूँ. When the goodwill is adjusted through gain ratio, adjusted, not written off, then entry will be here. Who is the retiring partner? Mr. B is retiring partner. Okay, B retires. Okay, and A and C, they are continuing partners. And then in that particular case, okay, what is the entry to be taken? A is capital account debit, C is capital account debit to B's capital account. A को डेबिट देने वाले हैं, C को डेबिट देने वाले हैं, because they are gaining partners. And Mr. B is a sacrificing partner because he is a retiring partner. उसको credit मिलेगा. Because he is getting compensation in the form of goodwill. Goodwill actually है क्या? Goodwill is nothing but a compensation which is paid by gaining partners to sacrificing partner. In case of admission of partner, new partner is giving the compensation to old partners. And in the case of retirement, ulta hoga. Continuing partners, remaining partners are giving the compensation to retiring partner. And that compensation is only called as a goodwill. Illustration number 2. XYZ were partners sharing profits and losses 4:3:2. Z retires and the new ratio is 3:2. Calculate the gain ratio. So X gain, new ratio 3/5 minus old ratio 4/9, 37 upon 45. Y's gain 2/5 minus 3/9. 2/5 new ratio, 3/9 old ratio. So it is 3 upon 45. What is the gain ratio? Is 7:3. Then PQR partner sharing profits and losses in 2:2:1. This is old ratio. Q retired. Calculate the gain ratio. Gain ratio आपको calculate करना है. So here actually, what is the new ratio coming? Okay, by cancelling Q's share. Q का share आप cancel करो. फिर आपको automatically new share मिलने. एक मिनट, ये सब कुछ cancel हो गया. Okay, anyway. मतलब Q का शेयर हमको कैंसिल करना है. तो व्हाट इज द रिमेनिंग शेयर? 2:1. ओल्ड रेशियो 2:2:1, न्यू रेशियो 2:1 between P and R. So what is P's gain? 2/3 minus 2/5. That is the new ratio 2/3 minus 2/5. It is coming 4 upon 15. And R's gain 1/3 minus 1/5. It is 2 upon 15. So 4:2, or rather what we can say 2:1. But what I want to explain to you, you need not to make any calculation in this particular case. Listen to me carefully. You need not to make any calculation in this particular case because the new ratio is not specifically given to you. We have calculated the new ratio by cancelling Q's share. Q का share हमने calculate कर मतलब cancel कर दिया, फिर हमने new ratio निकाल दिया. देखो ये है ओल्ड रेशो, ये है न्यू रेशो. हमको दिया नहीं, हमने मतलब क्या ये क्यू का शेयर कैंसिल करके निकाला है. तो आंसर वही आने वाला है 2:1. ओके, so answer for any kind of calculation you are getting the same answer. So in this case you need not to make any calculation. Calculation करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, apply the logic and you can understand. Anyway, now proceed with the treatment of goodwill. This is very important part of the explanation and your complete concentration required. Here, first of all, very important is goodwill is not brought in cash. There is no chance. Nobody is coming in the business. Somebody is going out of business. तो कैश में गुडविल तो आने वाला नहीं है. So there is no premium method applicable. Here only second method applicable called as a revaluation method. Okay. Now the cases are given to you. Number one, when goodwill of the entire firm, the complete all firm is raised and retained in the business. Entry goodwill account debit to all partners capital account. All partners capital account is their old ratio. So in this case, only one entry of the goodwill. Goodwill will appear to capital account credited as a buy goodwill and will be distributed between all partners in their old ratio. And as there is only one entry of the goodwill will appear to new balance sheet. Look at this, appear in the new balance sheet asset. Now the second case. When goodwill of the entire firm is raised and written off, what is the difference in number 1 and 2? Number 1 में बस raise किया है और retain किया मतलब वैसे रखा है, kept in the business. Number 2 में क्या किया है, raise and then written off. Now in this case, there are two entries. Number 1, when goodwill is raised, goodwill account debit to old partners capital account, old profit sharing ratio. Same entry, मतलब ये जो entry है, number 1 का वही repeat हो गया इधर. And second entry is now coming when goodwill is written off. Now the entry continuing or remaining partners capital account debit to goodwill account. You can see here in the first entry, old ratio is applicable because we are going to distribute the goodwill to all partners. But in the second entry, only new ratio is applicable because we are distributing the goodwill between remaining or continuing partners. Okay. Now in this case, goodwill will not appear in balance sheet. New balance sheet में goodwill आने वाला नहीं है. Now the case number 3. When goodwill is raised to the extent of retiring partner share and retained in the business. What is the difference in number 1 and 3? Number 1, it is raised for entire firm, for all partners. Here it is raised, but to the extent of only retiring partner. Now the entry is a goodwill account debit to retiring partners capital account, and now the goodwill will appear in the new balance sheet to that extent. Now, for example, out of A, B, C, Mr. B is retiring partner. So the entry number 3 will be goodwill account debit to B's capital account. Only B will get the goodwill. Only the goodwill will be credited to B's capital account and goodwill will appear in the balance sheet asset. Number 4, but when goodwill is raised to the extent of retiring partner but then written off. तो पहला एंट्री तो सेम आ गया, देखो गुडविल अकाउंट डेबिट टू रिटायरिंग पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट, and the second entry continuing partners capital account debit to goodwill account in which ratio, gain ratio. Okay, and in this case goodwill will not appear in the new balance sheet. New balance sheet में नहीं आने वाला है. Okay, here I want to say something about gain ratio. Here sometimes this gain ratio is not applicable. Sometimes goodwill, this gain ratio is not applicable. Here the ratio applicable is a new ratio only. Oh, वही आएगा same. Okay. When the gain ratio is applicable, when the goodwill is adjusted by remaining partners, retiring partner का goodwill remaining partners ने adjust किया और हमने contra entry ले लिया, goodwill का नाम ही नहीं आया, then gain ratio is applicable. I want to show you this particular whatever I want to say, okay, clearly. तो आपको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से समझ में आएगा. देखो अच्छी तरीके से देखो. लुक एट द फर्स्ट एंट्री. 3 में सॉरी 4 में पहला एंट्री देखो. 4 में गुडविल टू रिटायरिंग पार्टनर्स कैपिटल और 2 में क्या है, कंटिन्यूइंग पार्टनर्स कैपिटल टू गुडविल. तो ये गुडविल को डेबिट हुआ और गुडविल को क्रेडिट हुआ. नाउ लुक एट द एंट्री. नंबर 1 and 2 एंट्री मैंने उसमें गुडविल का डेबिट कैंसिल किया नंबर 1 में, नंबर 2 में गुडविल का क्रेडिट कैंसिल कर दिया, कैंसिल हो गया. Now what is the entry containing partners capital account debit to retiring partners capital account? This entry is called as a adjusting the goodwill of retiring partner by remaining partners. Okay. During practice session, I'm going to explain this particular part very, very clearly. You are knowing that. I will explain. I will give the effective explanation for the same. Number 5. In case goodwill already appear in the old balance sheet. पहले से है. Now difference in the amount can be shown either in the profit and loss adjustment account debit side or credit side. मतलब वहां पे आएगा. Okay. Or in partners capital or current account. Okay. Now listen to me carefully. If the goodwill is already given in the balance sheet, for example, goodwill given in the balance sheet is 10,000. And now it is given that goodwill is revalued at 12,000 rupees. So goodwill is showing the appreciation of 2,000, like a land and building, furniture, machinery. तो बिल्डिंग में ऐड करो, सॉरी गुडविल में ऐड करो और रीवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट की क्रेडिट में लिखो. लिसन टू मी, ऐड इन गुडविल, रीवैल्यूएशन और प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस एडजस्टमेंट अकाउंट क्रेडिट, और मतलब दूसरे के लिए और, तो पार्टनर्स कैपिटल या करंट अकाउंट के क्रेडिट में लिखो. ओके. One more example. For example, goodwill is given to you 10,000 and now revalued at rupees 6,000. Now here the goodwill is decreased by 4,000. It is a depreciation on goodwill because goodwill is a intangible fixed asset. Minus from goodwill and either profit and loss adjustment or revaluation account debit side or capital or current account debit side. इस तरह से आप लिख सकते हो. So these are the entries which are important from the angle of the goodwill. Here also we are having capital adjustment, but that is all the way different, simple है, आता है बहुत. Then very important is amount of retiring partner. Look at this please. Okay. ये बाकी सब देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay. I can tell you there are the two options. Number 1, with retiring partner, total amount payable to retiring partner. If it is paid by firm totally, भाई तो रिटायर हो गया, ये पैसा लेके जाओ. Then retiring partners capital account debit to cash or bank, cash oblique bank. If it is paid in installments, then retiring partners capital account debit to retiring partners loan account. पहले तो उसको लोन अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि वो हमारा पार्टनर था, है नहीं, अब वो चला गया. He is now third party liability. So first of all, if you are doing the payment immediately, then first entry applicable, retiring partners capital to cash or bank. If you are doing the payment in installments or later on, तो पहले क्या करना पड़ेगा? Retiring partners capital balance is to be transferred to retiring partners loan account. मतलब कैपिटल का बैलेंस उसका लोन अकाउंट को चला जाएगा. Then interest is charged on loan, interest account debit to retiring partners loan account. Here interest percentage you are knowing, and that is 6%. According to section 37 of Partnership Act 1932. So interest account debit to retiring partners loan account, and when interest is paid in cash, retiring partners loan account debit to bank. If the total amount due to retiring partner is transferred to loan account, then retiring partner's capital account due to retiring partner's loan account. And if the amount due to retiring partner is partly paid in cash and balance transferred to loan, मतलब थोड़ा सा पेमेंट दे दिया और बाकी हमने लोन पे रखा है, then retiring partner's capital account debit to cash oblique bank, so whatever paid amount, and to retiring partner's loan account the balance amount. So in this way, this is okay the theory for the complete retirement of the partner. अभी आप सोचते रहेंगे कि सर आपने हमको तो ये बताया नहीं, ये रिजर्व का क्या करना है, वो मैंने पहले ही बता दिया आपको. It is to be credited to partners capital account credits and all partners, of course, because all are old partners in their old ratio. Then this appreciation depreciation, उसके लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे, revaluation account open करेंगे, और capital adjustment है तो वो भी according to ये करेंगे. So most of the accounting entries are similar to admission of partner. Where is the difference? The difference is in the treatment of goodwill, because that is not brought in cash. And number two, retiring partners' capital balance finally transferred to partners' loan account. Either or it is paid in cash. एक तो कैश में पेमेंट करेंगे, अगर नहीं किया तो पार्टनर्स के लोन को ट्रांसफर करेंगे. So this is but a theoretical aspect, okay, of this particular chapter. And from my next lecture, I'm going to start with the solution of exercise problems. हम लोग exercise problems चालू करने वाले हैं. Okay. I guess तुम्हाला हे सगळं कळलं असावं. म्हणजे त्यातले डिफरन्स कळले असतील. Okay.